What if a new shoe brand could challenge Nike's empire and do it in less than 2 years? This isn't a startup fantasy. This is On Running's real-world takeover. For decades, Nike, Adidas, and Puma have dominated sportswear. But now, a Swiss underdog is breaking into the game, faster than any competitor before. Cristiano Ronaldo wears their shoes. So does Zendaya. And they have a secret weapon, one of the greatest athletes in history. Federer spent his entire career winning Grand Slams in Nike shoes. Nike even said they could have made Federer the next Jordan. But in one of the most shocking sports marketing moves ever, Federer walked away from Nike. People said it was a mistake, leaving Nike's marketing empire behind. They said it would hurt his brand after retirement. They even said he'd never win another Grand Slam. And they were right. But what nobody saw coming was that Federer was about to build something bigger. He co-founded On Running, and in less than 18 months, the brand hit $1 billion in sales. This is the story of how Roger Federer is helping build a billion-dollar shoe empire, one that could become Nike's biggest challenger yet. Welcome to Revenue Racers, and this is the $300 million betrayal. Nike versus Federer. For 24 years, Roger Federer and Nike were inseparable. 20 Grand Slam wins signature Nike shoes and gear millions in sponsorship deals. He was one of Nike's biggest assets, not just a tennis player, but a global sports icon. Even Phil Knight, Nike's legendary co-founder, personally befriended Federer. Nike built Federer's image, and in return, Federer helped Nike sell millions of shoes. A Nike executive even admitted, "We could have done for Federer what we did for Jordan." It was a perfect partnership. Then came the breakup. In 2018, Federer's Nike contract expired. What happened next shocked the sports world. Nike let Federer go. Instead, he signed a 10-year, $300 million deal with Uniqlo, a Japanese apparel brand. Why? Nike reportedly refused to match the offer. Federer wasn't just looking for money, he wanted long-term ownership of his brand, and Nike wasn't offering that. But here's where the story gets even crazier. Federer didn't just leave Nike for a new clothing sponsor. He was also making a secret business move, one that would put him in direct competition with Nike. If you visit Nike's headquarters, you'll find an old waffle iron in their museum, used to create the waffle trainer, the shoe that started it all. If On Running ever opens a museum, they might display a garden hose. Yes, really. 2005, Switzerland. On Running co-founder Olivier Bernhard, a 6-time Ironman winner, received an unusual call from an engineer. The engineer asked for a pair of his shoes, then said, "I'll put something on them, and you go run." When Bernhard got the shoes back, the soles were covered in cut-up garden hose pieces. They looked ridiculous, so ridiculous that he waited until midnight to test them so no one would see. But the moment he started running, he realized this wasn't just a gimmick. It actually worked. It felt like he was running on clouds. Bernhard spent the next 3 years cutting hoses, gluing them to shoes, and refining the design. Then came the next step, going from prototype to production. As a Nike-sponsored athlete, Bernhard naturally pitched the idea to Nike. Nike rejected it. Looking back, he admitted, "If I were in Nike's position, I would have laughed at my own design." But he believed in it. So, he took the idea to 2 friends, David Alleman and Casper Capetti. At first, they thought the shoes were ugly. Then, they tried them on. Everything changed. In 2010, they founded On Running in Zurich, launching their first product, the Cloud Racer. Runners loved it. And then came On's first big break, 2020 Super Bowl. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson opened the most watched television event in the US, wearing On sneakers. Everything else he wore was black, except for his white On shoes. It looked staged, but it wasn't. On Running co-founder Bernhard later confirmed, "We don't have a deal with him. We assume The Rock bought On shoes himself." For On, this was a marketing jackpot. The Super Bowl is the most expensive ad space in the world, and On got a free endorsement from one of the biggest celebrities on the planet. The wildest part? The Rock is sponsored by Under Armour. He even has his own shoe line with them. But he still wore On. That moment helped catapult On into the mainstream, and Federer was about to take it even further. In 2019, Federer made his move. He didn't just sign with On Running, he bought a 3% stake in the company. He became a brand ambassador, a product designer, a part owner. Unlike with Nike, Federer wasn't just a face, he was an investor. And since Federer joined On, the company's sales have quadrupled. In 2021, On went public, raising $750 million and hitting a $6 billion valuation. Let's compare the numbers. Nike's annual revenue, $46.7 billion. On's annual revenue, $1.2 billion. Nike is still 40 times bigger than On, but so was Adidas when Nike started. And On is growing fast, faster than any other footwear brand in history. The real challenge? Nike isn't just a running brand. They dominate basketball, football, and lifestyle fashion. On is still trying to break out of running and find its Michael Jordan moment. Maybe that's where Zendaya comes in, because the biggest money in sportswear isn't in running, basketball, or tennis. It's in lifestyle fashion. So, in a few years, will we be making a video about a new number one in the sportswear industry? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into sports business.